Owen Reece had seen wars, but Kethara Prime redefined hell. Violet lightning split skies above crystalline deserts where 3 years of brutal fighting had turned diplomacy into a punchline. His shuttle descended toward the Jade Queen's palace, carrying humanity's final petition for peace. Right up, until tractor beams ripped through his shields and dragged him down like a hooked fish. Kethrin's soldiers pulled him from the wreckage, their long ears swept back flat, threat posture. He'd studied the cultural files during the 6-week journey, memorized greeting protocols and negotiation frameworks. None of it mattered now. They marched him through obsidian corridors where bioluminescent veins pulsed in living walls, past chambers that smelled like ozone, and something organic he couldn't identify. The throne room stole his breath. The Jade Queen sat elevated on crystalline platforms that grew from the floor like frozen waterfalls, her presence bending space around her. Eyes like fractured emeralds tracked his approach, calculating, measuring, dismissing. Captain Reece, humanity sends envoys with words. Her voice carried harmonics that made his teeth ache. Words mean nothing. Strength proves truth. You fight my warriors at dawn unarmed. Survive and we negotiate. Fall and your species' petition dies with you. Guards threw him into a cell where previous occupants had carved names into stone. Most entries ended with death dates. Owen added his name anyway, because what else do you do when tomorrow promises pain? He pressed his forehead against cool rock and tried not to think about the 17 colonies already burning. Dawn arrived with horns that vibrated through bedrock. Owen was dragged into an arena carved from meteor-scarred stone, thousands of Kethrin soldiers filling tiered stands in perfect silence. The Jade Queen watched from her royal box, flanked by generals whose armor told stories in scar tissue. His opponent entered through the opposite gate, a champion twice Owen's mass, wielding a plasma-edged blade that hummed murder. The crowd waited for slaughter. They'd see a human broken, proof their queen's judgment held true. Owen moved first, not forward into the blade but lateral, grabbing sand, throwing it high. The champion's long ears tracked the distraction while Owen closed distance, got inside the weapon's arc. Training from a dozen colony bar fights, hand-to-hand courses that assumed you'd lost everything else, raw human stubbornness, he used it all. The fight turned ugly fast. Owen took hits that cracked ribs, but he kept moving, kept thinking, turned the arena itself into a weapon. When the champion overcommitted to a killing strike, Owen redirected the momentum, used a hidden rock to shatter the warrior's knee, then choked him unconscious with a hold that shouldn't work on Kethrin anatomy, but did through sheer bloody-minded determination. Silence. Even the queen had leaned forward, her emerald eyes sharp with something that might have been surprise. Owen stood over his fallen opponent, chest heaving, and waited for the next lesson in survival. They sent 3 more warriors. Owen fought each with evolving strategy, learning their patterns mid-combat, exploiting assumptions about human fragility. He lost 2 fingers to plasma burns, used the pain as fuel, adapted faster than they could adjust tactics. Between fights they gave him water and nothing else, testing whether humans broke between battles or got sharper. Owen did something they didn't expect. He studied his next opponents during their preparation rituals, noticed how they favored certain stances, how their long ears telegraphed direction changes before their bodies moved. He started predicting strikes, turning Kethrin advantages into liabilities through pattern recognition. The 4th warrior fell when Owen used the arena wall for leverage, launching himself at an angle no ground-bound fighter anticipated. The crowd finally broke silence, not cheers but a low rumble of confusion mixing with something that might have been respect. The Jade Queen raised her hand. Fight stopped. She descended from her box personally, and her generals looked like she'd announced the moons would fall. She stood before Owen's bloodied, half-broken form and asked one question. Why fight without honor weapons? Owen answered through broken teeth. Because survival doesn't care about honor. Only results matter when you're protecting people you love. Something dangerous flickered behind those emerald eyes. Understanding, maybe. Or recognition that humanity was more complicated than anticipated. She circled him once, then gestured for her guards to stand down. Whatever came next, the arena trials were finished. The Jade Queen cleared the arena except for her inner council. Owen expected execution for his bluntness, but she circled him like a predator reassessing dangerous prey. When she finally spoke, her voice carried weight that made even her generals stand straighter. Kethrin culture values martial perfection, choreographed combat, honor-bound traditions millennia old. You fight like a cornered animal, chaotic, unpredictable, horrifyingly effective. She stopped directly before him. I watched 17 human colonies fall and assumed your species weak. You proved something terrifying. Human adaptability makes you survivors, and survivors are never truly defeated. Her generals erupted in protest, arguing for crushing humanity before this resilience infected other species under Kethrin rule. The queen silenced them with one raised hand, her long ears angled forward in decision-made posture. I offer not negotiation, but alliance. Your tactical flexibility combined with our military discipline could reshape galactic power. There are threats in the outer reaches that value neither honor nor survival, only consumption. We face them together or fall separately. Owen could barely stand, but he understood opportunity when it bled in front of him. Terms. Harsh but fair. Mutual defense, cultural exchange, human colonies granted autonomy under Kethrin protection. You become our first ambassador. She paused, and something almost like respect colored her voice. You fought for your people with nothing but will. That's not weakness. That's the most dangerous strength in the galaxy. The refusal to surrender when surrender is logical. The alliance treaty was signed in the same arena where Owen had bled for it. His scars became humanity's credentials, proof that sometimes peace requires fighting for it first. As Kethrin medics finally treated his injuries, Owen allowed himself a painful smile. He'd come to negotiate and ended up brawling his way to an alliance. The diplomatic corps back home would either promote him or declare him criminally insane.